Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tech Talks with Santosh. And today we have a very special guest. She's from she works in Pune, so this is how I actually know her from a Twitter handle. So welcome Chandrika Deb. So she is working as software associate at MDocs, but thanks for joining Chandrika, and she is going to actually talk about Python today. Thanks for joining us.
Welcome so much, Santosh. And like it's an honor to be on Tech Talks with Santosh. So I'm definitely honored. So, and you're doing a very good work, and I follow your channel too. So I'm definitely honored to be there as one of them. So, yeah. So, and for all the viewers, I think, just let's see what we can do today with Python.
Yeah, thanks a lot. So, Chandrika, do you want to introduce our viewers about yourself, what you have been doing, and about your
Yeah, sure.
career? Yeah.
Sure. So I am a 2020 computer science graduate from BIT Mesra. So and I've been working with Amdocs since the
Mm-hmm.
last year from July. And apart from that, yes, this lockdown and this pandemic year 2020. So I found out. So what is the importance of this developer communities and to be more active in your online profile. So based on that, I
Mm-hmm.
did 100 days of code, the challenge, and to share your daily progress on Twitter and also on LinkedIn to share it in a form of
Mm-hmm.
a repo on GitHub. So I have my learnings for those 100 days as a repo on GitHub. So as you might know, many of the viewers who are watching this, and also I've made some projects which have won some awards in my company, also in Amdoc.
Wow.
So we'll talk about that, and it's based on Python. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see that in this talk which we have now.
Great.
Yeah,
So,
that's much
Chandrika, just
about
to
me.
start, yeah, okay. So, just to ask you, I mean, how did you started your career? I mean, learning Python yourself. So, can you just let us know about that?
Yeah, sure. So Python is not a syllabus in our college. Like till now, it was not there when I was there. So yes, I guess now it is included in the new
Uh-huh.
form of the syllabus which is there. So this Python, you can make like simple apps and all that thing in a few
Mm-hmm.
lines of code, which is not possible in Java or something else. So Python is, yes, a good choice for that. And also in competitive programming, like we can do much string, like the string cases, or the array cases which are there. You can do it much similar way with Python. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, that was a motivation for me to start learning this. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
this learning journey has been from many different sources, from ranging from Code Academy, Coursera, Udemy,
Mm-hmm.
and all. Also, like it, a tutorial was there of 30 days of Python in that GitHub's developer pack. So if you guys
Mm-hmm.
have that pack, you can definitely try that out. That 30 days of Python, like it has, I
Mm-hmm.
think, of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and Python. So
Oh.
you can try that. It has like all the flavors of it, like from data
Mm-hmm.
visualization to the simple cases, like why we should study Python in the present time and all that. So it is
Mm-hmm.
covered in a much detailed way. So you can definitely check that out. I recommend that 30 days of Python learning. So yeah,
Okay.
that is.
Is that something which is provided by GitHub Education?
Yes, it is
Okay.
provided by the student developer pack, which comes as that
Mm-hmm.
uh, GitHub Pro. So it
Uh-huh.
has it within that.
Uh,
So you have a free access for 30 days for that. Yeah, for that course. So
oh,
you can
that's
try with that.
okay. I think that will be a great thing to have if you're a student. I mean, uh, everyone is actually giving a lot of free stuffs, even including Microsoft, Google, and GitHub. So I think if you are a student, I think you should go ahead and apply for this program, and you get a lot of things for free. You can actually uh, learn a lot of things again on the internet, and you have access to everything, including I think GitHub Education also includes GitHub Actions, which is really great. used widely in CI/CD nowadays. So yeah, that's good. That's good. And the great thing is you utilized it and you learned from them. So
Yes.
okay, so let's move on to our next question. So what are some use cases and frameworks to start with in case you are a new developer who's starting with the Python?
Okay, so if you are a new developer, so I have some points to ponder on. So
Hmm.
I'll share them in the
Yeah.
slides, and apart from that, like I'll share them in the slide. So apart from that, like if you're a complete new developer and your first
Hmm.
language is Python, so Python, like you're very fortunate to begin with Python, because as my case, I didn't begin with Python. Yes, I began with C++, and then Java, and then to this Python world. So
Uh-huh.
if you're beginning with Python, you'll get the basic flavors, the syntax, and the the like anything like the uh, like data structures, or you can say. So that will be a very good case if you start with Python. Yes, like it doesn't use semicolons, but yes, there are indentation problems here in Python. So you like you can learn a lot if you can start with Python, and there are multiple options of applications and project you like you can develop with that. So I recommend to start with Python if it is your first language to begin with.
That's great. So can you share your screen?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, here it is.
It's visible now.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes, it's visible. Yeah.
So, okay, so let's start. So, I've named this as Let's Python. So, let's begin with. So, a brief intro about me, for like following which I have said already. So, yeah, I'm a software dev at Amdocs, and I'm a former XLRI intern. So, I'm currently also mentoring for Girl Script Summer of Code and the GS Community website project. And I also do tech blogging, and I've written for Geeks for Gigs and Analytics Vidya for Codepur also. And yes, the project of face mask detection, which is a Python based deep learning project. So it's there in my GitHub. It has won the Innovation Award. So I was declared as second in
Uh,
Amdocs, and plus like a Py. And also another Python based project is the Girl Script Twitter bot, which is on Twitter. So it is being currently used by the foundation, and it helps to engage more. It retweets the tweets with hashtag girl script. So you can also make your own bot or Twitter bot. Yeah, it's also there in my GitHub repo. You can see and look how it is made. So yes, so proceeding on, we have yes to how to start. So
yeah.
I've pasted a quote here. So not lying, yes, it's googling. So yeah, so as the quote says, like I'm always ready to learn, although I do not always like being taught. So it's a quote by Winston Churchill. So yeah, so we often see tutorials or blogs, or you read some documentations, but you don't like to be taught. You want to do something on your own, like it should come on your own. So I'll say, like, let's start. So just start. So just take up any course, any blog, or yes, any 30 days of Python. I've mentioned that. So just start and just maintain a flow of what you start, and then you have to build something of what you see, of what you
Agree.
learn. So yes, a building something is very much important. You just can't see the videos and skip it, and just complete, go on to next. You have to build something side by side. So it
Yes.
may be a code, it may be a page of code, a few lines of code, or something, a app, or a data
Mhm.
structure question, or whatever. You have to build something and apply that video or the blog which you read, and then
Mhm.
it comes to document, share, and teach. So basically what you have built, so you have to document that. If it is a code, put comments on that, like how you did it, what is the
Mhm.
next step, what this block of code does. It is very much important. So like you can refer that at you can refer that at a later time. And like if you upload to a GitHub repo or upload your code somewhere, or you share on LinkedIn, on Twitter,
Mhm.
like what you did, like if it is a game, if it is an app, or if you build a visualization code, so
Mhm.
anything. And then you go to some like any session or any teaching workshop, you teach there.
Mhm.
And it will help you to more understand your code or the app or whatever you're sharing there. So I
Mhm.
think these 3 points are like much important to how to start to build a foundation on anything, and not just on Python. So yes, so this is an important slide for everyone who wants to learn something new.
Great. Very important. I mean,
Yes.
generally developers just keeps reading, but they don't build anything. And this is where the problem is. If you have learned anything, just apply it yeah, apply it somewhere, build something, and then also share it. It's really important. And as Chandrika mentioned, document it. Let it be
Yes.
your GitHub. Let it be on GitHub. You publish your code on GitHub, or write about it, how you learned it, how you did it. So
Yes.
don't write for others. I think write for yourself. So in future you can
Exactly.
help yourself itself. So yeah, that's really
Yeah.
a great point, Chandrika.
Yes, you can write a blog, build a repo with like a step by step. You have to uh, comment your code there. So yes, so this was the third point on how to start. So proceeding on to the next slide.
Yeah.
So yes, we have the question of what to build or what frameworks to use in Python, or like this is a hot topic and a hot question among the developers. So I have shared a blog link. So it has like it has all the steps and all the frameworks according to your field of interest. So I have a Medium blog which I'll open now and share like what it is.
Hmm.
So this is the blog.
Hmm.
I'll share the link over here also, so Santosh can share it with you all. Okay, so the blog title is "To Python Map to Follow in 2021." So I have
Hmm.
written this in this year. So
Hmm.
I'll give you a brief overview of what this blog is actually. So it has a few stage, you can say. So the first stage is one who is a complete beginner. So who doesn't know about Git also. So how will I upload my anything, my code, my app
Hmm.
to uh, GitHub and share?
Right.
So we have the stage of warm up. So we have some commands, we have some Git basics. So we have these two things here, some GitHub fundamentals. There are questions on what is GitHub and why do we need it. So
Right.
it covers that. It has the video courses and the some links of the blogs. So I have
Hmm.
mentioned here. And plus we have what is Python, why Python, and the feed and the features of Python. We have this video and the applications, the difference between Python 2 and 3, the editors, like some questions are there, like which code editor is fine for Python, Sublime Text or VS Code, what should I use? So it will solve your doubts. And plus a developer environment for Python. So how you
Hmm.
should configure your Mac or Windows laptop to set up a good developer environment for all your
Hmm.
needs. So it will cover those in stage 1, and then in stage 2 we'll go on to the loops, hello world, and all that, like syntax, operators, and all that, string, a brief overview of everything which every language needs. And especially in Python, we should pay attention to the indentation rules, as you know. So it covers here all the tutorials which are there in stage 2. And for stage 3, it has video tutorials too. And in stage 3, we have the data structures in Python. So the list, tuples, dictionaries. So, like, it's a higher level than the stage 2. So we'll study about these here. And then in stage 4, we have the OOP concepts. Like, once you are comfortable with stage 3, then only you should proceed to stage 4. Okay, and again, in stage 3, you just not have to, uh, next. For the tutorials, you have to learn and build something, like build your favorite question. Like applying this like whatever you did here in this stage. Like, if you did on list, you should make a program for list. For a list, how do you add, an element to that, remove an element? You should make a file of all the list functions that you can think of, that you have learned in this stage. So proceeding on, we have stage 4, which has these OOPs and for functional programming. So it has something known as lambda functions and built-in functions. So you will learn these here. And for stage 5 and 6, we have for the packages and the like the libraries which are there in Python. So these are based on the application that you want to develop. So yes. And yes, for stage 6 is for the file handling. So you have these tutorials here, and for 7 is for important libraries. So some are for the ML things, and then it's Pygame if you want to develop games in Python, and then it's for NumPy, SciPy if you want to have the data visualization in Python. So these are the tutorials for them. And proceeding on, we have the application areas. So according to your interest, you don't have to learn these all. Okay. Even I don't know these all, these everything. It's like unimaginable to learn all in Python. So we have some paths. So according to your interest, you have to pick up the path you want to learn. Okay. So in scraping, we have these. So these libraries are used for scraping. So you can proceed on to learn these. For scripting, we have these.
Okay.
For web development, like Python with Django is a very good choice for web development. You can definitely try this out with Flask also. We have for ethical hacking too, and for ML. So this was the end of the blog. So I guess people will now have an idea on what to choose, like what to see and what to learn. So these combine all the steps. So you can check out this. And proceeding on.
So
So
just
yeah,
there
sure.
is a question from Karthikeyan. So is there any project work after each stage of course? So is it included?
I've not included that in the blog. Yes, you can definitely go on and do some project after each stage. Like I said in my previous slide, document, share, and just give that session to someone else. By that way, you can learn more. So by documenting, I mean, if you can, like, consider the stage 1, it has basic, like what are the features of Python, or what are the basic
Right.
git commands. Okay. So once you learn those, so write a blog or something, like like share a post, like uh, what did you learn? Like the features, the extra features that you didn't know about Python earlier, but you learned it today. So yes,
Mhm.
definitely you can share that. And speaking of projects, yes, you can find several projects of each stage. So if you want to proceed with some webs, uh, for scraping or scripting, you have multiple choices of projects there in on net. Just find it out and do, and just
Uh-huh.
show it to the world that what you learned.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great. Okay, so there is another question from Pulak Bhattacharya. So, which companies in the industry uses Django REST framework or API development? Are you aware of any?
Okay, so I'm not aware right now of any, so I need to go like Google for that.
I mean,
But
I'm sure.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
I'm sure,
uh,
like some companies do use that, and Django with Python is a very good choice for building blog sites. So
yep.
you can make your own blog site using this. So I have like collaborated to build a website for for a company with Django and this
Uh-huh.
bootstrap. So it,
Okay.
like, it was not Python, but yeah, it was a Django of for the database part, backend with Django.
Okay, okay, got it. But I think Django REST framework is really an I think good choice in case a lot of companies I know. I'm not sure right now. I cannot list them, but yes, a lot of companies do use it. It's really tested, well tested. It's available from years. So I think yes, it's used in production as well at a lot of places. So you don't have to worry
Yeah.
about the that part. Yep.
Yeah,
So yes,
and
sure. Go ahead.
Django, yes, and Django can be, deployed to Heroku and all those stuff
Mm,
very easily. And if you build a blog site with Django, it will be end to end, like the front end plus the back end. So you can definitely try that out, Django with
mhm,
respect, for your own site if you want.
mhm. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah, so let's move on for a newbie developer. So
Yeah.
as Santosh has said, what are the tips to give to a to a coder who has just been the first language for them is Python. So
Yep.
let me tell you, like, every developer out there, be it any year of experience they have, they were once like very new, and they still Google and they still use Overflow. So yes, so like, don't get me wrong, yes, it's the reality. So I would give you few tips regarding the coders who have just began their journey in coding. So the first step is to generate interest. So it's not necessary that you start learning Python, and because this session is about Python, you would start learning about it. So do a background check. Like, if you want
Mhm,
to proceed with this language, you want to build something that with this language will be much easier task, and you want to actually learn this language to see how it works with other apps, with other languages when integrated. So yes, yes, you can learn Python then only. Like, have a
mhm.
passion. The second
Yep.
point is to have a passion, and then start a blog tutorial or YouTube, like start from a. So
Mhm,
yeah, so you can start learning from any of the free resources. You don't have to spend much on these programs, on these languages. You can start from any free resources. There are plenty, there are plenty. So just start from somewhere. And
mhm.
learning takes time, as I
Yeah.
showed you in the blog, those 6 7 steps which were there, and then the applications. So it will take time. It is not in 30 days that you will learn everything. Even that 30 days course has just an overview of everything.
Right.
So yes, if you have a coding background, then that 30 days can be much great, much use for you, but it takes time. If you don't know, please give time to this, and like don't just be in an imposter syndrome. So
Hmm.
yeah, so learning takes time. So the next
Yeah.
is documenting is important. So as I've mentioned, just document, comment your code, or share. If you are sharing or committing to a GitHub repo, have a readme file with the steps. What did you do, or what did you how did you do? So you have to make those steps, like how can another person install that, or contribute to that. So that is much important. And yes, to share what you learned. So yes, I'm sharing now what I learned.
That's great. So, of course, there are a few really important points here. So, learning takes time. Whenever I have seen a lot of developers, whenever they start something new, they just get frustrated within few days, and they leave that thing, right? So they say, okay, this is something not for me. But remember, everything takes time. So it's not like the biggest lie is you can actually master any programming language in 30 days. I don't believe in those terms. Whenever someone says learn this in X days, that's a lie. I think learning is for your entire life. So I've been coding for 13 years now, and I still learn something new every day. So don't believe in those things that you can learn Python in 30 days or JavaScript in 30 days. Keep learning. That's the important thing. Don't give up.
Exactly. And these Python and JavaScript, like they are bigger than the ocean, I can say. So you just
Agree.
can't do everything in 30 days, okay? So you just can cover something, a part of it in 30 days, but not everything. So yes,
Exactly.
so I would say like learning takes time. And yes, so let's proceed. So I have a few tips and tricks on this. So how can you make your learning Python even more good and better? So the first is to plan. So the
Hmm.
planning part is to have a background check, a background research of why do you want to
Hmm.
learn. Like even if this language interests you or will do you any good in future or not, or according to your career options, you have to see it and analyze it. Or if you just want to learn it as a side hobby, as a side project which you want to develop and showcase in your resume. So the part is for the first, which is to plan. So I think that is clear with you, the planning step. And the next is to study A and build a and to innovate a. So I'll explain you what this means. So for example, if you study how to write hello world in Python, okay, simple print hello world without a semicolon, just braces, right? So build AA. So what does this mean? So if you have learned how to write print hello world, so try to make a function which prints hello world. Okay. So yeah, so in this way, if you are seeing a tutorial or reading a blog which maybe teaches you to do A, so in your laptop, in your local environment, you should try to build a in that, to make something more of what you just saw or what you just read by your own. So that can be a motivating factor for you to learn more and to learn more efficiently. And the last is to innovate, which is AAA. So innovation, so let's just take that example. Like if you build a function with which prints hello world, so try to innovate and share something maybe a program of file handling which will print hello world when the file will open up. So that's what innovation is. So what you build, so try to make much more out of that and to
Wow,
share it. So
that's
yes,
great.
so that covered the second trick.
Hmm.
And for the third one, which is much important, I think, in these days, I see many posts like people are doing many things at one time. Doing Flutter and doing web development, doing Python, ML, deep learning. You don't need to go in multiple tracks at once. Okay, you just need to know what you want to learn. Just don't make too much of it at a single time. Less is more. Okay, so less is more. You have to keep this in mind and begin with something, follow that road track, and just make something worthy which you can share. Okay, so that was it. The tips and tricks from my
Hmm.
side. Yeah, if you have any questions.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I agree. So nowadays, everyone wants to learn everything. Remember, you are not going to actually, once you work somewhere, you're not going to code in all the programming languages. You have to choose one, of course. If you know multiple languages, that's okay, but you don't have to be aware of, right? So I've been coding in C Sharp and now JavaScript or TypeScript for a long time. I don't know React, I don't know other technologies, but I still survive in this market. So you have to remember, be good at doing one thing. I think that's what matters. So I think that's just wanted to add it.
Yeah, definitely. And yes, like if you are learning any programming language, try also to learn about that continuous integration, continuous development, which is the CI/CD part. I think that is not taught anywhere, and you
No,
just see
yeah.
that in your company when you get employed. You should have an idea about what this is, how you can automate the jobs.
Mhm.
So yes, so I would tell the viewers to make some code to, or to learn, to read what this is, what is this CI/CD, and what is Jenkins, how you can automate. So definitely give a read on that, because
Mhm.
you'll require it at some point in your life, in your uh,
Mhm.
developer life. So
Great.
yes.
I think so. Just to give you an advice, in case you are starting with CI/CD, give a shot at GitHub Actions. They're really easy to start with,
Yes.
and they're really nice. They now you have more than 3,000 GitHub Actions available for free. In case you want to learn it, so because it's so for open source projects, it's free. You don't have to pay anything, which is really amazing because before GitHub Actions, you had to actually go ahead and purchase some server. You have to deploy or run some scripts on the server. Not required anymore. You can just use GitHub Actions right from GitHub itself. So you don't have to even run something on your machine. You can just go to github.com and create a new repository, go to Actions tab, and just set up your entire CI/CD workflow. So that's amazing. Uh,
Exactly, and you can just see for like videos for Hello World GitHub action. So
yeah.
that is as simple as you can imagine. So yes,
Mhm.
definitely give a shot on GitHub workflows. So proceeding on, I have the next slide. So
Uh-huh.
Santosh asked me like if I have something to promote. So yes, I have made a YouTube channel on my birthday, this 17th. So yes, so the channel now has only two videos which are related to the web development part. So I have
Mhm.
planned for something which will be there on the YouTube channel very shortly, for my side projects, like how to run, how to install, how to code, everything. And then the tech blogging guides, as I've told you, like I've blogged at some
Mhm.
at Geeks for Gigs and all that. So how you can make your blogs more good, more attractive, which can make the person who is reading more attached to the blog, and it can make him
Mhm.
understand everything that you want to convey. So I'll do those guides also, and also
Mhm.
I'll record my like the my developer journey, and also the programming guides. So for programming guides, I've chose for Python, for Java. So yeah, so that's a heads up from my side. So yes, guys, if you're watching, then please support that channel. So yeah, it's by the name of Coder. You can search on your YouTube.
Do you want to
And
share the
yes,
link? Do
yes,
yes,
I'll share. I'll
second.
share. Yep. So proceeding on. So that was
Mhm.
it from my side. So if you have any questions, so let me know now in the comments, or you can reach me out on Twitter by handle of Chandrika Deb 7.
Mhm.
So I hope all the best to all of you for your Python journey.
Yeah. Cool. So there are a few questions. Let's take them before we end. So there is a question
Yep.
from Vijay. Can you please provide any mock project for developers to start with, especially for people who are starting with non-programming background? Anything you came across?
Can you please provide any mock project for
Yeah.
developers to start with? Okay, 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 okay. So for mock project, based on Python or for any other developer like
I,
developing language.
I think he's
So if
referring
it
to
is in,
Python.
yeah, so if it is on Python, so you can make simple games like if you're in interested in games, you can make a tic tac toe thing, or you
Mhm.
can make a calculator. So these are
Mhm.
very general examples for a non-programming background. I think once you learn all the operators, the if and else things, so you can make
Mhm.
a calculator of your own. So yes, like you can have a loop, you want to
Mhm.
add, subtract, multiply, divide, anything. So that will be a great project to start with.
Okay. Cool. So last says impressive work, Chandrika. Keep it up.
Thank you, Lars.
And okay, so would you like to share track that includes Python, such as web dev, etc.?
Okay,
Uh, uh,
so I have that in my blog. So I have
uh-huh.
mentioned a path on Django and Flask as the backend along with Python. So you can check on that. You can check the videos on that. And I have planned
Mhm.
for a web development blog also for the web development roadmap. So stay tuned. I'll publish it as soon as I get time. So yes, Pulkit, stay tuned for that.
Cool. So there is another question from Karthikeyan. Reliable points to select Flask, Django, then Angular for front-end development. So
Okay,
what is your?
so I have least knowledge about Angular and React. So let me be frank. So for front end, I have used Bootstrap and CSS and JavaScript for yes, for a very a very less amount. So in Flask and Django, I can say in Django, you can deploy the sites very easily on Heroku, and you can the code is also very simple. You have assets and all that. So you can try reliable points. For me, I would say you can try both, and you can just make out what works for you. I think some people like Angular more, and some people go for Django or Flask more. So yes, it will depend on you. So if I say this is good or this is not, so that might be not applicable for you. So yes, do a background check on that.
I think yeah, it's up to you what you want to select and what's best for the job, right? I mean, so
Yes.
it's not mandatory you should be using Angular. If there is something which can be set up quickly using Django, I think you should go ahead and do that. Not a problem. So it's
Yes,
just.
in Django, the sign up forms can be made
Mhm.
very easily. I can say that, and yeah, there is a default structure of the login page, the sign up page. So yes, that's a advantage there in Django. So yeah,
Cool. So do we have any setup? I'm not sure what you mean, Naresh, but uh, okay.
setup no, like my work from home is going on in a very minimal setup. I can say,
Uh-huh. Okay,
yeah.
cool. I think that's it. We don't have any questions anymore. So thanks a lot, Chandrika, for joining us, and it was
Thank
really
you,
amazing. I mean,
thank
you
you.
explained it
Honored.
much better way. I think it is going to help a lot of developers who wants to get started with Python. So thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you so much.
So now on closing notes, I'm sure if you are aware that GitHub Satellite is going on, we had day one today, and there were some amazing talks and amazing stats coming out of GitHub Satellite. A lot of more than 1 million developers actually contributed to open source or created their first repository in last year alone on github.com. That is really impressive stats considering India used to always lag behind when it comes to open source contribution, and now we are one of the fastest growing country who is contributing to open source. So that was amazing. We have day 2 coming tomorrow. So in case you are interested, that there are a lot of amazing talks coming up, and Lars is going to present one of the talks where he is going to actually talk about GitHub Actions. So in case you are interested, do join us tomorrow. It starts at 9:30 a.m. in morning, and
Oh, sure.
you. So there are 2 tracks, DevOps, and I think there is one open source. So Lars is presenting in open source track, and there is another DevOps track which will be happening. Though both are happening parallelly, but good thing is they will be available on to watch on demand from Monday. So in case you want to just watch open source track tomorrow, that's absolutely fine because you can catch up the DevOps track later on. Same for today. In case you missed today's talks, just go ahead and watch it again on Monday. I think keynote was really impressive from Erica. She's COO of GitHub, and these stats were really amazing. I mean, I was really proud of seeing the open source community growing up in India.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's it for the day. So in case you have any question, you already know the Twitter handle of Chandrika is available here, Chandrika Deb 7. You can just message her.
Yes.
I hope
And I've
that's fine,
just
Chandrika.
shared. Yeah, sure. You
Yeah.
can get in touch with me. And I've just shared my YouTube channel link with Santosh. So he'll give it in the comments.
So I'll just
Yeah.
also tweet it out in case you are not able to see the link. I came to know that I think links are blocked somehow. So I'll just share it again. So please do subscribe to the
Yeah.
channel in case you want to follow Chandrika and the amazing work she has been doing. And do subscribe to the channel. I think there will be a lot of amazing contents out there. So thanks a lot, Chandrika, again, and thanks a lot for joining us. So see you everyone. Bye bye, and have a great weekend. And don't miss
Bye.
GitHub Satellite Day 2.